Shadrach,
So in this video, I
Mishap,
want to
and
talk
Abednego.
about the revivalist Bishop Joseph Telfer, who was doing the baptism and got swept away. So Bishop Joseph Telfer is comparing his brush with death to the biblical story of the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Mishap, and Abednego, who survived the fiery furnace, claiming that divine intervention saved him from drowning during a butch baptism in Babwalk, St. Catherine. As you remember this video, it happened about 2 weeks ago in St. Catherine, where you saw the bishop, a church member, and a woman being baptized swept away by a river's powerful current. In the viral video, Telfer is seen as he to submerge the woman, sparking rumors that he had drowned. But Telfer said that not only is he alive, but insists it was nothing short of a miracle. Telfer said he was under the water for 45 minutes, and not even a drop of water entered his lungs. That's what he told the Star. When man go under there, them take in water, but God was with me. God made me swim, and I don't even know how to swim, the bishop said. His confidence unwavering. All I did under there was pray and sing, and God carried me through. But according to scientists, average person can last up to 3 minutes underwater without air before falling unconscious, and about 10 minutes before dying. But Telfer believes his faith in God was the determining factor in making him alive. Drawing comparison to the biblical tale of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the bishop declared, "If you are a vessel of the Lord, then no weapon formed against you shall prosper. God is a spirit, and if you say you are trying to live for God, He will preserve you." Remember, the Hebrew boys were cast in the fire, but when they did not get burned, because when them look, them see 4 boys. The firm God make 4. So God was there, according to Telfer, as he's still with him. Telfer, the leader of the Holy Stars of Mount Zion in Linfield, St. Catherine, said he has performed countless baptisms in the same river without any issues, but this time he believes that the water was stirred by a particular factor. "When I went, the water wasn't dirty," he explained, when asked why he proceeded with baptism despite the river's mockery appearance. The bishop said he has been practicing preaching from he was 9, undeterred in his commitment to continue his work for God. He said he had no fears. I would have go right back there now. I will go back to the same very spot. That's what the bishop saying, same would have go back there. The same spot. Adding that the experience has only strengthened his faith. The miraculous aspect of both story lies in the idea that God has suspended the laws of nature to protect his followers. The three Hebrew boys should have been consumed by the flames, just as Telfer should have drowned in the river. So a person can only survive about 3 minutes underwater without air before losing consciousness, and only a few more minutes before death sets in. Yet Telfer's testimony insists that something supernatural happened. The fiery furnace became a symbol of faith during under trial, and for Telfer, the river was a proving ground where his faith held fast against the currents. Yeah. So, not just divine intervention, but the purpose of enduring trials. For Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the furnace became a witness to their unshakable faith, one that even convinced a pagan king of the power of their God. In Telfer's case, his survival has sparked renewed discussion of faith, miracles, and the extent to which God protects those who serve Him. Both stories have a larger impact beyond the individuals involved. They are testaments to the power of belief and the visible hand of God in movements of crisis. So, in that scenario, in that scenario, we must trust God and have faith. The story points to a God who is present with his followers in their most dangerous moments, whether it is in the heart of a furnace or beneath the swirling winds of a water. The promise remains that God can and will intervene if it is His will. Yet, perhaps the greatest miracle is not just the physical survival, but the enduring of faith that comes to burn bright despite the fires or floods. According to Telfer, it was like the three Hebrew boys. But when I hear about the story that he survived, it also put me in mind of the biblical tale of Jonah, who was swallowed by a giant fish and survived in its belly for 3 days and nights. Jonah's story, like Telfer's challenges the boundaries of human survival. Both stories involve divine protection in the face of certain death, but they differ in their lessons. Jonah's experience in the belly of the fish came as a direct result of his disobedience to God, and his survival as a chance for repentance and reflection. Jonah was preserved to fulfill God's mission, whereas Telfer's narrative is one of steadfast faith rewarded by a miraculous survival. So you could go back to Jonah 2 verse 2, and it describes how Jonah was trapped in the belly of the fish, cried out to God in his distress. Remember, Telfer said he was singing and praying. According to that, he was in a situation only divine intervention could resolve. He said, "In my distress, I called to the Lord, and He answered me. For deep in the realm of the depth, I call for help, and You listen to my cry." So that story about Jonah and the fish also reminds me of Telfer in the water praying to God. According to him, it was the three Hebrew boys came to his mind, but Jonah came to my mind. Although it wasn't a whale, but that's the story I get from Bishop Telfer's story. Yeah, because they relied on their faith during life-threatening circumstances. When one's faith is strong, God's presence will be with them in the deepest waters and the fiercest fires. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below.